So that is the fun when they learn while they're enjoying. And the first and the foremost thing we have to teach our children is not to give up. Let children take the onus of their decisions also.
Hello everyone, I'm your host Seema Chhoriya and I bring to you another exciting episode on great principles. Today we have a legendary figure, a decorated figure from the world of Indian academia. So, the children, by loving them for more their abilities, we show our children that they are much more than the sum of their accomplishments. This is such a marvelous philosophy. To execute this, we, the parents, along with school leaders and educators, should take lead when it comes to the holistic upbringing of our children. When parents are responsible for informal learning at home, educationists are responsible for their students' formal learning in educational institutes. Our guest today, Ms. Alpana Baveja, Principal, Manav Rachna International School, Sector 51, Gurugram, strongly believes in the philosophy and considers her pupils' success stories to her by her awards. So welcome to Great Principles, ma'am. It's an honor to have you here, to the person who believes that her students is her awards.
Thank you so much, Seema, and thanks for your generous words. Look forward to a conversation today.
So, ma'am, beginning our conversation, very first thing that we would like to know from you, once upon a time, your mother was a teacher, and that is where the seed was sown, and that was the start of your own, once upon a time saga. So tell us what part of your mother's work life motivated you to become an educator?
So, Seema, I belong to Lucknow, and my mother was a teacher in KV. And when we were small, we used to see her talking about her children, getting excited for their results, children coming and thanking her, parents, showing their gratitude towards her. So there was a lot of respect which she used to owe that time. And we were all always, she had a charismatic personality. And especially I remember me and my sister, when my mother used to get her papers home, especially when she used to do the corrections. So we used to help her in totaling and feel, wow, we've done the totaling. So she never allowed us to use the red pen. We used to total and write with a pencil, right? So these were a few things which we saw how beautifully she used to manage her work life, her household, and all of us, we've been brought up really very well. And the values which she instilled in all of us, I think that all attracted me to be an educator. For sure, right from my childhood, I used to have role plays, enact myself, wear her sarees, and I just wanted to flaunt as an educator.
Absolutely, ma'am. Your journey truly depicts that, that we as a children follow by example. We don't follow by advices or by pressure. We practice what we see. So we are observant. We, the children, are always observant, and our parents are our role model. So this is what is the takeaway from ma'am's journey to all my parents out there. Your children are observing you. They look up to you. So be a role model. Going ahead to my next question to you, ma'am, 2 decades into education is a long journey, and you may have witnessed profound reforms in schooling norms over these years. So here, could you tell us 2 major differences in teaching methodology of you when you were a student and now you're a school leader?
So I remember, see, I have studied in St. Mary's Convent, and you know how is a convent education. Now I'm very proud of my school, but I do remember a lot of places when, we were not interested in the classes, and we just wanted to move out of the classrooms because it was such a boring and a dull class, right? So the teacher that time was the center of learning. As I always tell my teachers today, that you don't have to practice your learning, right? You don't have to repeat what you know. Like simply if you are asking what is an atom, so what is the use if you tell what is an atom, right? You have to make children inquisitive. You have to take out the answers from them. And today, if you see, it is not the case. The child is the center of the learning. The child, you have to have activities planned around the children. You have to make children inquisitive. You have to make them intrinsic learners. They look forward to learning because learning is a lifelong process. So today, if you see, teachers are doing it beautifully. They are planning engaging activities in the classroom, and they are making children engage. Children are learning by actually doing. When we talk about experiential learning, if you say in our times, we hardly used to have such activities. We used to only look forward to go to the fields. Our sports period was one, maybe our music periods, and maybe our art period. That is all. But today in the classroom, it is integrated, all these activities, and we are making children move. Another thing, in our times, it was actually a rote learning process. There was no high order thinking questions for us. But today, all the curriculums beautifully are including high order thinking skills. And if you see, we are giving challenging tasks to our children. So we are creating logical minds, right? So which is very, very beautiful. Today, a child who is in grade 1 also asks a question to the parents. And if you remember, in our times, our parents used to say, you are replying back. Don't mujhe jawab mat do. But today I always tell parents, it is good children are asking you questions. They have that logical mind. Answer them. And I always tell parents, if we don't know the answers, we should accept it. I don't know, I'll get back to you. Right? So it is beautiful today because it is an engaging system. If you see, when I go around the classrooms, I don't look forward to a very quiet class. I am not that kind of an educator. I would love to have a class which is very noisy. Children are moving around, they are playing activities, they're enjoying. So that is the fun when they learn while they're enjoying. Yeah. So a lot of change today.
Absolutely, ma'am. Today, the class is more interactive, more participative. And as you rightly said, yes, our teachers, and especially in this pandemic days, they have turned out, to be the unsung heroes.
Yes.
They have, beautifully have engaged the children even virtually. So definitely a big reform in education today. Teachers are no more the knowledge keepers. They are mentors who are thriving to make the learning process more enjoyable and more, making learning fun. So on this lovely note of making learning fun, we move to another question. Manav Rachna, the school name carries a deeper meaning. Simply translated, it means human creation. So looking at the world's emotional state of turmoil, I would like to ask you, how do we intend to create emotionally balanced citizens?
See, today we all are seeing what is going around. Lot of cases we hear where people are not emotionally balanced, even if they are excelling in their careers, one small dip and they are not able to balance. If you see, when we were children, our parents never showed us that everything is good around, right? Even if they had lot, I remember my parents used to have a lot of funds, but they used to show us that we don't have anything and you have to fight your battles, right? So we have to understand that we have to have that competitive spirit in children, which is good. So we should not always say that everyone is the winner. Yes, we say that everyone is tried, everyone is the winner, but we should make them understand that there is scope for improvement. And the first and the foremost thing we have to teach our children is not to give up, because life is not a bed of roses. So we should not always tell our children the best of experiences of ours. We should tell them all the hardship which we have also faced as parents. First and the prime most important thing. Second, I think when we want emotionally balanced children, we have to start it right from the childhood. Right from the child is born and right from the child goes to kindergarten. And these skill sets, they have these emotional learning. For them, we need skill sets which have to be imbibed in the curriculum, right? If you see, we have to train children to adjust with each other. So there is a reason behind everything. If we do peer activities, if we do group activities, there's a reason. Children learn first to adjust with each other. They learn to listen to each other, right? They learn to balance their emotions. Maybe I have a point, I want to give this, like we do debates. But there is a way of putting a point across in a debate. In a debate, that child is not, liked by all or by the viewers who is literally fighting. There is a way how you convey your point, how you convince. So all these children are part and parcel of the growing up. And I strongly feel it is very important. Social emotional learning is extremely important today, but it is only possible if we as parents, as educators, together as community, we make our children understand it's okay, it's life. We have to learn from our failures. We all do. Everything is not good all the time. There are ups and downs. So I think the more we talk to our children, the more we communicate with them as parents, the more we give them trust. See, a lot of people say this, but as parents, we have to follow this. We have to show them if they have done a mistake. Okay, I always tell my daughter, even if you kill someone, I should be the first one who come home and tell me. Right? So the trust, if we give our children, and if as family we have strong bondings, we listen to each other, we tell our failures to our children also. Why not? We should do that. And then I'm sure our children will come up socially and emotionally balanced.
Absolutely, ma'am. This is so much, very much needed and very much relevant in today's time. Our children need to learn that it's okay to fall, it's okay to fail. You need to learn to how to rise back. That is something important. At times, these days children get so demotivated, even if they, lose at home, playing at home. These days we all are sitting and playing with our children, and if they lose in the game, they will start crying. Oh my God, I lost. So we need to set an example in front of them.
And rightly said, Seema. And then we have to tell our children that failures, always bring in opportunities. They always do, because the day we feel I know everything, that is the last day of your learning curve. So there is ample opportunities for everyone. And yes, we have to fight it back. So we have to make our children fighters.
So true, ma'am. That this is what is needed. Learn from your failures. There is always an opportunities. Keep rising. So on this wonderful note, we reach to the next section, ma'am. As we were just talking about teaching children about learning from their failures, and even NEP has emphasized a lot on skill development. So should learning in educational institute be based on outcome? Do you think so?
Definitely a very, very pertinent question in today's times, when everyone around an NEP has also highlighted the importance of skill sets. See, I remember one of my students when I joined Manav Rachna almost 2 years back, and we have a tinkering lab where children practically do a lot of experiments and they make models. So this grade 4 or 5 children, 4 or 5 of them, they came to my room and they showed me a model of a motor, right? And the motor working and pulling in water and taking it to the other place. I was zapped, and I asked these children, the entire process, and they explained me beautifully. And I have no shame to accept on this platform till that date, because I was not a science student, I'm a literature student. I didn't know how does a motor in our houses work. So you understand what I'm saying? We all have studied this. We all have studied simple machines. We all have studied machines in our 9th and 10th also. But I did not know the practical use of it. So how I felt so proud, I'm bringing up such children, and that children were teaching me. So it was so good. So today, everywhere, all the researchers, they see that 50% of Asians, 10 to 15 years down the line, they will have no jobs. So it is a worrisome situation, because, today they say that in our generation, we might be changing 4 to 5 jobs, but our children might change 4 to 5 professions. So how do you change 4 to 5 professions? For them, you definitely need to have skill sets. So a lot of exposure to children in school these days, everyone is giving, there is mass and media introduced, gardening, there is ICT and coding is introduced, tinkering labs are there, which is very, very good. It is beautiful. And NEP bringing in, I'm sure a lot of government schools will also incorporate these things, because there are the masses. And when you talk about your next question was, I think, outcome-based learning. So yes, when a teacher, she makes a lesson plan today, more than her objectives, she has to match it with the outcome, what she's expecting. Because if there is no goal ahead, how do you reach that goal, right? So outcome-based education is very, very important and very, very relevant. So all the teachers first, they should be trained on these. What exactly, supposingly if you're teaching a topic, any topic, say for example, nouns. So how is it connected in real life? How will the child use it? The purpose. So we need to know what outcome we are expecting. We are not simply expecting an outcome where we just teach what is a noun. These are the 4 types of nouns. I remember my school days, maximum we were asked to, underline in the sentences and write different kinds of nouns. But today, it is not like that. Today, if a teacher is teaching different kinds of nouns, she can have an activity where, 4 corners, she marks the kinds of nouns, and she asks children to pick up a chit and run, form your groups. Another thing, she teaches them how to use it in paragraphs or identify. or newspaper cuttings, or she asks children to use it and frame a paragraph where they speak. So the purpose of education has to be shared with children also. We have to have an outcome based education. If you remember, Seema, in our days, A to Z, it was taught in a sequence, right? A to Z in a sequence. Where are you using letters in a sequence today? Tell me. You're only using them, you are using them to pronounce words. You're making word sentences, right? So today it is not the case. When we teach phonetics to children, the letters are not in sequence. So the main purpose of education, these kindergarten teachers, when they teach sounds to children, is that these children should be able to pronounce, make new letter words, and they should be forming sentences. And that is the outcome. So, you start that way. And that is how mind mapping is done in schools also today for the curriculum. So they see what in 12th, where should the child be? And that is how step by step we come down and we plan the curriculum. But in our days, the curriculum was planned right from kindergarten to grade 12. Yes. So that is very, very essential, a quintessential thing.
Wonderfully explained by ma'am that it's not only about the learning, but the child should also be able to apply his learning to the general life. So that is the whole meaning of education. You just mug up something and you forget. But when you learn the application of what you have learned, that is something that you have actually grasped it. So beautifully explained by ma'am. And on this note, we move to our next question, ma'am. When we were having a conversation before this, and you said that my students are my biggest awards. So that your line of yours that has actually won my heart, ma'am. So I would like to know, ma'am, tell me a moment or talk to us about a time when you were overwhelmed by the glory and happiness your students had brought to you or to the school.
So, Seema, I would like to tell you, over my last 18 to 20 years in education, I cannot tell you one child who was very important to me or whose success, brought in a lot of laurels to the system, lot of happiness on my face, because I am an educator who not only says but believes that it is not only academics, it can be your sports, it can be a dancer, it can be a musician who can bring laurels to us. So a lot of cases, but here I would like to talk about a girl. I think it was in 2013 when I was a PGT English and a senior supervisor. And I used to teach this girl in 11th and 12th, and she was a very shy child. And she used to say, but she wants to take psychology as a subject, and she wants to counsel children. So, one day after the class, I used to talk to my children a lot, grade 11, 12 especially. So when I was talking to her, she told me about her family history, the problems she's gone through. And then we used to talk, and I used to make her comfort. You won't believe, in 12th, she's not only scored full marks in psychology in her subject, but today she's a psychologist. And she is I feel so proud. She's on LinkedIn with me. So I feel so proud of her. A lot of my children are doctors and, lawyers today, and they're on LinkedIn with me, and it gives me immense pleasure. But when I see this particular girl who has faced a lot of challenges, and maybe my counseling or love or whatever made a difference to her life, that she is counseling others, I think that is the most proud moment for me.
Absolutely, ma'am. There cannot be the joy bigger than the one when you feel that you are the cause, you are the reason of someone's mind. You're the
So
reason.
it's like we as educators, we have a lot of passion, and we want to bring in a lot of, these children, we are nurturing them. It is our duty. So when one such child, you see that, your purpose is solved. So it gives you immense pleasure. Today, I'm remembering it after 6, 7 years, and I think you can see the smile on my face. So if she also will hear it later, she'll also feel good about it. So God bless all the children.
Absolutely, ma'am. So, incredible work teachers and educators do of shaping lives, which is always recognized by the students, and they always come back, that
Yes.
because of that word, today I'm this person, that word changes their lives. So teachers are actually magicians. They carve, they change someone's completely, they awaken the real learning in the child. So on this wonderful note, we reach to the very interesting segment of the show, which is called rapid fire round.
Okay.
Now you have to answer in one word or one sentence. So gear up, viewers. Now some fun facts about ma'am will be revealed. So ma'am, here goes the first question. What is your preferred schooling pattern, regular or online?
Regular, undoubtedly.
What is your leisure time activity?
So I love to read.
All right. So, ma'am is a reader. Who is your favorite celebrity?
I don't know you'll believe me or not, but I generally don't follow anyone. I believe I am the best. So yeah, I don't have any.
Wonderful. So this is, वो मैं तो मेरी favorite हूँ वाला thing here.
Yeah, I think because see, I tell children also, and I tell parents also, why do you have to say when my child is playing cricket, so he should be like, Sachin Tendulkar? Why? You have to say that the child has to be like himself or herself, So I don't have any favorite celebrities, and I'm not lying in that. That is honest answer.
Wonderful. So take pride in your own self. This is what is man's message here. You should be favorite of others. Why you need to have someone as your favorite? So wonderful philosophy here. Next question to you. Since pandemic has all locked us down, so as things are opening now, where would you like to travel?
So let me be honest with you. I've already traveled to Goa, but if I have to go abroad, I would like to travel to Europe.
Wonderful. Last question in this segment. As ma'am, you mentioned that you like reading. Here, I would like to know who is your favorite author.
So I'm sure you all would have read the book Secret and Magic. Yes, so I must recommend the author to all of you. It is amazing. And again, because I talk about children, so I would like to tell you all here, children, that it is, especially to the senior children, that this book tells you how to be positive in life. One, the mantra that be positive, and how to bring that positivity in your life is in the sequel Magic. So do read these books. And I read a lot of books which are self-help books, because at times you are also stressed out and you want to read. And I also read a lot of articles online these days, especially, because online has become a big hit. So I read a lot of articles on education and pedagogies, because I want to be abreast on what is happening around the world.
Absolutely, ma'am. This book I have read and I myself have tried it. It actually works.
Yes, it does.
You feel positive from within. The entire universe is helping you to get that positivity to you. So do read this book. To all my viewers, a wonderful read. It will actually transform you. Going ahead, ma'am, so here I have, we spoke earlier on the show that your mother was your inspiration behind choosing a career in education. So tell us about a school leader whom you uphold in high esteem.
So I would like to here talk about Miss Meenakshi Zirabi. She is a director principal right now in Aspen Scottish Noida. And when I was a PGT English and a senior supervisor, so she was my principal. And I had never thought that, I was never ambitious, but yes, it's my passion in education and all that today I'm also heading as a principal. So she was the one, because I have seen a lot of passion in her. She's 50 plus today also, but still she carries a lot of passion, lot of love, lot of warmth for children, for educators. Her skill set to create leaders is one thing which I look up to her, and I think I'm also following that philosophy and that belief that there is equal opportunity for everyone to grow, right? And whether it's children, whether it's your peers, whether it's your seniors, your juniors, you have to take everyone along. So I have learned that from her, and I think I am following it beautifully, because I believe if your team is happy, your purpose is solved. And then if the team is happy, the children are happy, the parents are happy, everyone is happy. So you have a happy learning environment, right? So she is the one.
Absolutely. We all look up to someone who inspires us to do good, and there cannot be anything better than bringing the happiness quotient into the school. So on this note, we reach to the last segment of the show, which is called Viewer's Choice Question. And ma'am, since ma'am talks about a lot on parenting, so here our viewers have a question for you that, do you think that students should be allowed the freedom to think independently about their career and life in general? And what is the role of parents in choosing the career of a child?
Such a beautiful question, Seema. And I myself am a parent of a teenager who is in 10th. So, rightly asked. So let me be honest to parents that every parent, whether it's you, whether it's me, or anyone who is listening to us, parents want the best for their children. And we as parents, we have a lot of experiences and a lot of aspirations, right? So when we have experiences, we share our experiences with our children. As educators also, we keep telling, time will fly, it will not come back. And I think we've also heard from our parents the same, but we don't make them understand. So first of all, parents, please understand these are 21st century learners. Today, we don't know what profession tomorrow after 10 years down the line, or, when your child is small, 15 years down the line, they will choose, or what profession is right for them. So I must tell you that parents' role is very important. We cannot say that leave it to the child, but have a beautiful bonding with your children, as I said. Discuss a lot of stuff with your children. Empower your children. So to empower your children, you have to give them the right opportunities. Right? So you are right from the beginning, you have to give them n number of opportunities. Tell your child to do this and that. Don't overburden the child. Let the child choose a few activities with the child wants to do, and empower the child to take decisions. Now, decision making is another very important thing. And we all have to, help our children in taking decisions. So as I said, parents are mentors. They can guide the children. They can tell them, all right, you are very good in this. Obviously, first is the parent who will identify that my child is playing cricket very well and I want the child to be a cricketer, and you give the platform to the child. But you don't know whether he will be that good that he, fights it out. So all your duties, parents, identify that thing that your child has special. Every child is special. And today we are blessed. There are so many opportunities, so many careers, the child can choose. Just take a back seat then when your child is enough good to take decision. Let him speak his heart out. Yes, don't stop yourself. Convey your point, but as a family, help the child out. Don't pressurize the child. Let children take the onus of their decisions also. But for that, you have to make sure that you make a child strong enough to take decisions.
Wonderful answer, ma'am, here, because yes, children needs to take decisions on their own, but very rightly said that first you make them strong enough. They have that logical reasoning for their decisions. So that needs to be developed. And, ma'am rightly said, don't burden the children with the, load of unfulfilled dreams of your own. Let them choose their career path. Give them the exposure. Let them identify what they are good at. And yes, we are always there as parents to help our children if they go wrong. So first, let them, make mistakes, because even mistakes are something which will help them learn. So
Seema, it is very sad that even today we have parents who just want their children to be doctors because they wanted to be doctors. It is sad. So I'm talking about an educationist here. One of my previous schools, she gave me a call. My daughter is not wanting to take science, and ma'am, you counsel her, because I happen to know them, and I rather counsel the parent. I said, you make me talk to your husband also, because you know why? If a child is clear that she does not want to take, so why the child will not enjoy. Today we all believe in this thing that if you don't enjoy your profession, you will never excel. You have to enjoy your profession to excel, right? And if you enjoy, you will definitely excel. So with that message, I think the parents have to first come out of that thing. We say something, but we do something. So we have to actually hold our aspirations. And, so one thing I would like to say, a famous quote here. I'm sorry, I would like to, taking much of your time. So there are two things we should give our children. One is the roots and the other is the wings. Roots to stay grounded, teach them values, but wings to fly high.
Absolutely, ma'am. So to all my parents out there, let your children get the wings to fly. Let them fly, let them touch the sky. That is what you dreamt of. And as I mentioned, there are so many career opportunities. And so parents, your children don't need counseling. You need it today. You need to be aware of so many career opportunities out there. The world has changed immensely. And you're not even aware that down the line, after 10 years, there will be altogether new career opportunities. There will be artificial intelligence and spatial computing and a lot more of stuff. But what is important is maintain the creativity of your child, because innovation comes with creativity only. So don't, celebrate their uniqueness. So on this wonderful note, we will end our session, and we are very thankful to ma'am to give us time. It was really wonderful to know you, to share your wise words with us, and our viewers are going to enjoy this conversation with a lot of learning on how to be a better parent.
Thank you so much, Seema. The pleasure was all mine. Stay blessed.